What the fuck is up? Angry Black Quarterback episode number 13, Forest Through the Trees. I got it up on Twitch, man. I didn't know you could watch Thursday Night Football on Twitch, dude. I got like all sorts of shit going on. 2.0's with us today. First off, before we get into anything, we got to give a shout out. Let's get a little round of applause going. Episode 13, Forest Through the Trees. A lot to get into. Before we even get started, we got to talk about our boy, Mr. Goody, man. He is super sick. I think he's staying the night over at the doctor's. I don't know if I should even disclose that, but yeah, man. I mean, so he's uber sick, so he's not here today. Didn't even get his bets from him. He texted me. He told me he's good, but, you know, family's got him. So shout out and, you know, big ups, big prayers for Mr. Schultz, man. That sucks. And that dude's been working his ass off. So, I mean, I hit a wall a couple weeks ago, and it was like exhaustion. So I'm hoping it's not like the Rona or something. But welcome, not to start out on a low point, but welcome. What's up, 2.0? How are you doing, sir?
Oh, not too bad. Excited for this week of football. Should be a lot of good games.
So you canceled yesterday because you had some Nerd Honor Society thing. Explain yourself. Actually, no, but was it cool? Was it worth it? I'm just fucking with you.
I mean, so we were doing this like an induction into this honor society that I'm in, and one of the guys getting inducted was my friend. Okay. So he asked me to give him kind of like a little speech, I guess. It was like 2 paragraphs, but I did have to go do that for him.
In front of how many people did you have to give a speech?
About 30 people. Okay. Not bad.
That's not too bad. That's good, though. Well, shout out to your buddy. Well, that's cool, man. Yeah, when you were like, you said that, and then Andy was like, dude, I'm on my way to the doctor with my mom. I was like, oh, fuck, dude. I hope you're all right. So I was like, we'll just cancel it. I'm off today. Hopefully we can do it. Bro, okay, like, no shit. And I'm going to vent about it, but I'm not going to be too bad. But, okay, so listen to this shit. I'm on my way. I'm, like, hanging out at the house. I'm like, all right, done all my stuff for the day. I'm going to go. I got to basically brush out or comb out all these fucking dreads that my fro's turning into. I gotta chop this shit off soon. It's starting to twist up. So I go to CVS. I'm leaving CVS, bro. It's me in a car in front of me, and we're at a turn to like turn onto the highway. This woman throws her car in reverse and slams into the front of my car. And I'm like, what the fuck? And I'm super pissed. I was like, oh my god. I saw her lights come on. I tried to put my car in reverse and back up, and I couldn't get there too quick. I started to move like right when she hit it. She didn't do any real like major damage, but she cracked my whole like front grill like in half. Like snapped that bitch. And so I'm like, oh my god. So I put it in park, and I'm like, I think this person first gonna take off. They don't. Bro, it's some like 88-year-old woman who shouldn't be driving. She was the sweetest old lady. We swapped insurance. She felt super bad. I was like, dude, it's not like there's nothing really wrong with my car. You're totally good. But man, I felt so bad that whenever I saw who it was, I didn't yell or cuss or anything. But when they hit my car, I was like, oh my god, like, why are you backing up? We're in like a line. Comes out some 88-year-old woman. She just got the car. There's no damage to her car at all. Oh my gosh. So I had to like woosah. I was like, I'm going to Chipotle. So I got Chipotle, ate a bunch of food, dicked around on the computer and got some shit done. And then I was like, okay, I'm in a better headspace. But I was like, but if it was some like 18-year-old punk kid, I probably would have cussed him out. But of course it's some super sweet, like frail, tiny old woman. She was really sweet. So, yeah, I know. So that was part of my day when my car got hit.
Jeez, that's a nice car, too.
Yeah, it's all good. I mean, I've had it for 2 years. I haven't really done anything, but now she was like, we swapped insurance and stuff. She was super nice. She felt really bad. She was like, I just got this car. It's really hard for me to see out the back. And I was like, it's totally fine. Like, you just split this piece. It'll... Yeah, so that was my day. But... Welcome, 13. We're going to get into this, man. I just want to talk about this Jerry Jones bullshit. Before we get into anything, I think that's like the thumbnail of this. And before we talk any sports, talk anything. I've seen Stephen A. Smith like defend him. I'm not surprised. I don't think anybody is truly surprised that Jerry Jones was at a rally trying to stop his school from segregating. Where is that picture? I have that picture somewhere. It's I mean, some people have been trying to like defend it. This picture. Hold on, let me pull this shit up. Where it's him. This is Jerry Jones in the background. These are people integrating at his school at Little Rock High School in 1957. Jerry Jones was asked about it. He made comments about how he was worried about his football coaches catching him there, him getting in trouble. He said he was just curious on what was going on. I don't know how this is curiosity. Like, you're with a group of people, smirking people at that, like this guy with the glasses, obviously the dude with the cigarette, the kid laughing. Like, I mean, if any, like, that's got to be just cringe if you're in this photo and you're not like a reporter, essentially. But I mean, Jerry Jones, I mean, are you surprised that Jerry Jones was trying to stop his high school from for having to have it be segregate, to no longer be, to desegregate, desegregate his school? That's crazy. That's one of like it's like a smoking gun of like just being what we thought you were, you know?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm not surprised at all. Like, can tell he just kind of has, well, no, I won't say that, but no, I'm not really surprised.
And you know, whenever there's this whole like, if you decide to kneel, well, actually I don't know, Jerry's more like, hey man, if you decide to kneel at this football game, I'm gonna fire you. I'm gonna fire you. You ain't gonna be a Cowboy no more if you kneel. And then he chose to kneel with everybody, which seems super disingenuous, honestly. But you know, this guy owns the biggest, most expensive or highest valued sports franchise in the entire world. That's kind of crazy. And it's not crazy, but that's the problem. Like, that's what I think. It's shit like this, and you could say that you disagree with it. I know some people are like, oh, I don't like affirmative action, whatever. When people say that like the Rooney Rule needs to exist, this is a perfect example and a picture of why the Rooney Rule exists. Jerry Jones has never had a black coach, has never hired a black head coach the entire time he's been with the Cowboys. He's never, I think there's a guy in waiting who could essentially be the GM who's a black guy, but Jerry Jones insists on being the GM. Nobody wants Jerry to be the GM. I mean, if he's not, I just don't see him really doing some of the, I just don't think how he views his players. We've seen him make questionable decisions on people that he brings in. It's almost like, and I don't mean to be, you know, this is all speculation, but it's like he has a lesser than view of all of these people, so he doesn't care what they do or what they've done because he all views them as the same. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So, I mean, when this came out, I was like, holy shit, like, this is mind-blowing, but it's also not surprising. I think the fact that it's not surprising is why it's something that, you know, people should discuss or should be discussed as a topic, because, you know, you have a guy who owns the highest valued sports franchise in the world. You know, great businessman, owns a bunch of properties, but I mean, you have a picture of him in 1957 with a group of other kids his age. He's like, what, 15 in this picture, trying to stop black kids to go into school with him. Like, that's, you know, like, it's just one of those pictures where I've seen pictures like something like this in school, and I'm just like, man, imagine if that was like your grandpa, somebody like that. And that's Jerry Jones, and he's, you know, he has a lot of weight, makes it a lot of decisions in a league that's predominantly black men. So it's, you know, I don't know. Do you have anything to add? I know it's kind of a sensitive topic, but I feel like it's got to be talked about. It's fucking Jerry Jones stopping black kids from going to school with him. Like, and I mean, but I'm not shocked. Like, whenever I posted this picture, and it was like, man, it just blew my mind. Whenever I got a hold of it, I was like, damn, this is such a damning picture. And he's just there. He doesn't look, yeah, he's not up front with a cigarette in his mouth, like he's gonna fight you outside the sock hop. You know, meet me at the malt shop, I'm gonna kick your ass. Like, that guy, he just looks like a stereotypical douche. And the guy laughing kind of does too. There's like, I don't mean to laugh at the picture because it's a terrible picture, but when you look at all these people, it's, you know, I guess the farther away you are from the guys up front, the more you feel like the better off you are. But it's like Jerry Jones says he's curious. There's two dudes with cameras right in front of him, like right in front of him with film cameras. and there's cameras right next to the kid with the cigarette, like he's gonna hit somebody. Like, get out of here. It just proves the point that, you know, the shit still exists. It was an article by Washington Post if you want to read it. It's a really interesting article. Jerry Jones kind of dances around the topic, or like what he actually believes or doesn't believe, you know. Yeah, I mean, it's like, yeah, he helped transform the league, except for when it came to race, which is super true. He's owned the Cowboys for a long time. He's had a lot of opportunities. You know, that's a bad picture. No, there's like a wider angle, and it's just like a circle. And it's like this confrontation, and he's like 1, 2. He's like 3, 4 people away, like peering over, like, what's going on? Yeah, man, damn. I suggest y'all go read it. I suggest you read it. Jerry Jones caught trying to not go to school with black kids, and now he's in charge of a bunch of black men. But that's where it's like, it's so telling when it came to the kneeling with Kaepernick and his stance. Like, that's where I'm saying, like, that sounds, people be like, oh, well, these old racist owners, but then they're popping up in, you know, on the History Channel, Ancient Aliens, like, oh, here's a video of Al Davis being racist at the first Thanksgiving dinner. Like, they have all this, there's like all this shit that's popping up on these guys. I think it all stems from that investigation into Washington. And, you know, there's all those rumors that maybe Dan Snyder has like spies who's collecting information on all the GMs to keep himself from being voted out, that he has too much dirt on anyone. There was a secret kid that came out this year who's suing Jerry Jones. Apparently he's got some secret kid that he's never claimed. Like, Jerry Jones is in some shit, man. Jerry Jones is in some shit. Yeah. This is why, and now it comes out like in like a Back to the Future. If we went Back to the Future style, like Michael J. Fox would catch him doing something probably racist. I mean, it's Arkansas, so it's Little Rock, Arkansas in 1957. So am I surprised that like there's a big group of people trying to stop these kids from going to school with them? No. Like, that's also not surprising, you know? So at that age, at 14, 15, to be devil's advocate, there is a lot of stuff that you're a culmination of what you're taught and what you learn. Absolutely. So, I mean, could Jerry have gotten better? Yeah, but I think that we would see he has a different stance on things, or would communicate on those topics differently had he changed. That's why it's like maybe he has, and I'm just naive to it and not seeing it the right way. But I feel like a lot of his public stances are definitely, you know, don't make me feel like, oh yeah, he's, you know, Jerry Jones, straight gang, you know. I don't know. All right, well, we had to get into that first. I had to. But welcome to the show. I had to get that off my plate. It's just been bugging me. And then like Stephen A. Smith was super pro. Jerry Jones was like, leave this man alone. He doesn't deserve it. I'm like, well, I mean, I would deserve it, okay, but I mean, I don't know. Ooh, Pats are up on the Bills 7-3, by the way. But how? Okay, ooh. Yeah. Well, I got a little box, but I don't think that's gonna last. Fuck the Pats.
Hope not. I bet on the Bills.
Yeah. So, but you were, you know, doing your thing. Did we do good? Before we get into bets, because we just have one side of bets, so I want to run through those topics, run through some clips and stuff. We'll run through your picks, and we can really dissect the games, because we don't have Goody's picks, because Goody is sick. So, you know. But yeah, your Broncos suck, right? Broncos are pretty bad.
Oh my god, how do we lose to the fucking Panthers?
Dude.
That was so bad. Like, there's something seriously wrong. I don't think it's Russell Wilson, because like our team wasn't this bad last year. Yes, we traded away Shelby Harris. Yes, we traded away Noah Font. Like, Russell Wilson, I would argue, should have been an upgrade over Teddy Bridgewater. Yeah. Like, the team hasn't changed that much. So like the only thing that has changed is our head coach, Nathaniel Hackett.
That's right.
What do you think about him getting just chewed the fuck out on the sideline, if that was happening? I mean, people are saying it's just popular and fun to hate on Russ. I feel like Russ kind of deserves it, man. Russ has been kind of a buster ass. He's reached corny level in the sense of his like, oh yeah, like his like, come on, man, the building's burning around you. They have so much money tied up in cap space. What is it, 108 million in dead cap space next year? Some shit. If they were to cut him, he'd It'll be $108 million in dead cap space. So you're rolling with them, and you're gonna have. I mean, what do you guys have your first round pick? I think we went through this before.
No, we traded our next 2 first round picks to the Seahawks,
who look legit.
Yeah, they look good.
Well, Eagles won. Everybody knows we're the best team in the world. Don't be scared. Don't be sad. We got the Titans this week, and Charlie Gardner-Johnson is out indefinitely on the IR, lacerated kidney on that hit, and so they're saying he'll be back for the playoffs. Dallas Goedert's coming back pretty soon, and Jordan Davis is supposedly back this week, so that's huge. Because now you had Jordan Davis with Fletcher Cox and Hargraves, Lindell Joseph. Those are some big fucking boys up front. And then the Cowboys obviously won. Cowboys got the Colts this week. Yeah, we play the Titans. Who do your shitty Broncos play this week?
We play the Ravens in Baltimore.
Oh, well, you guys could definitely beat the Ravens. The Ravens are pretty bad right now.
No shot in hell.
Dude, we've watched the Ravens. Didn't the Ravens just lose to somebody they shouldn't have lost to? They've been
They did lose to the Jags. They let Trevor Lawrence. Sorry, I'm plugging in my laptop here. It's gonna die.
Oh, you're good, man. Live your best life. You're back under the stairs too. I see they put you under the stairs again.
This is just my natural habitat.
Oh, Harry Potter.
But no, like, we let Trevor Lawrence throw for like 320 yards or something. Or no, the Ravens did, not we, the Broncos. Ravens let Trevor Lawrence throw for like 320 yards. They only held him to like 60 or to 80 yards rushing. I forget the exact number. So they did a good job stopping the run. Like that secondary just fell apart. It was unfortunate, but
I'm just playing this video on Twitter on a loop where it's him with the chef hat and it's like a kitchen on fire, and then it's the stadium on fire, people running away, and he's just going, Broncos country, let's ride. I kind of feel bad, but he's also getting paid a shit ton of money. That's the downside. When you get paid that much money, people expect perfection from you, and you can drop it pretty quickly, man.
Yeah, like I feel like what he needs to do, he needs to like come out and say, I guess, like I know he said a little bit about it before, but like, yes, we know we're not where we're at supposed to be. Like we're letting down Broncos country and all this stuff. Like someone on that team that just needs to step up, take accountability for it, be like, yes, this sucks, it's not where we want to be, but we're gonna fix it. Just be patient with us, Broncos country, we'll figure it out.
Yeah.
Who knows?
Pretty brutal. Did you see this video? I think it's bullshit, but it's this Ravens fan. He's live streaming, and I guess the Ravens have been falling apart. They've had some big fucking leads lately and have been blowing them. Going up, 2 touchdowns or 20 points in some cases. And this dude in a Lamar Jackson jersey is just like smashing his keyboard and crying. And screaming. I mean, I guess there's. Yeah, it looks like he's in his attic or something like that.
We lost to the Jags! The Jags!
And he's also got a lot of jerseys.
True. So is he really a Ravens fan, or is he just doing it for
I think he is. He's got the purple light, and then he starts punching this pumpkin. Like, what the fuck? But what's crazy is there's like a market for this. There's people out there, like, I'm sure people are donating money to this dude or whatever the fuck it is, like giving stars and shit. Beating up a pumpkin. It's too much. And then the pumpkin's rotten on the inside. But I mean, do you think the Ravens, I mean, obviously they're going to beat the shit out of y'all, but do you think the Ravens are legitimate Super Bowl contenders right now? I feel like they're really
No,
not.
they don't have enough of a passing game. Like, Mark Andrews is their number 1 receiver. And he's their tight end. Like, you can make it work like they do in Kansas City, but Kansas City, they have so many other weapons that like they can give some attention, give the ball to other guys to take some of the pressure off at Travis Kelce. Yeah. But the Ravens don't have that second threat.
Yeah, that's true. They
like
really
all the all the pressure's on Mark Andrews, and all the attention is on Mark Andrews, and it's like he'll get his, but they just don't have enough in the passing game to really contend for the Super Bowl.
Another big thing that happened over the weekend. Did you see this? Speaking of Washington, this horrible statue that's basically a mannequin they did for Sean Taylor in their inside their new stadium. Did you see this shit?
Pulling it up.
It's essentially just a skeleton. It's not even a statue, and it's like Adidas shoes, Reebok pants, a Nike jersey. It's like the most hodgepodge together statue. I hope it's because because they're talking about getting a new stadium, and if they do, they'll put something outside. But that's the lamest. It's like a Kohl's mannequin.
Yeah, it's like that tribute they did to Sean Taylor last season. Do you remember that?
Yeah, every time they try to do something, it's bullshit. Like and it's crazy. That's someone that's an icon that everybody truly cares about. A husband and a father who died protecting his family, and while a robbery was happening at his home, and you give him a Kohl's mannequin with mismatching shit.
Yeah.
Like, get out of here. I just want them to be sold. I want them to force Dan Snyder out. If Jerry Jones, is doing weird shit, and all of the dirty laundry's got to come out, and they vote him out. Let's learn more about Jerry and the boys, and let's get rid of Dan Snyder because he's awful. He's just the worst. That's so. I mean, I feel like that's disrespectful.
It is.
Who thought this is what we should do? Perfect. An empty, and it's like encased in glass, and they have all these people around. Come on. Or Commanders, dude. And the Bills are up 10-7.
Let's go.
Pats suck. There's a rumor that potentially that Tom Brady might go back to New England, and Mac Jones would go to Tampa. I was like, what, dude? If he does that, then I'm just gonna hate him for forever. I don't think he will, but then I'd just be so annoyed. It'd be that, like, come on, dude, go away. Let other people do it. Not to be a dick, but let other people do it.
Yeah, he just needs to retire.
Do you think
He's old?
It's not looking good for me. I said that the Cowboys, the Bucks, the Chargers, and the Niners weren't going to go to the playoffs. And I was looking good for a little bit, and then the Niners made some trades, and they got McCaffrey, and then Jimmy G came in, so that fucked me. Cowboys looked good. That fucked me. And I looked good. That pick looked good before they played, and then all of these injuries, and I was like, oh, man, this is going to – come on. I'm golden. Chargers, maybe. Bucks, maybe. But as of right now, they both get in. So as of right now, none of the teams I said wouldn't make the playoffs, they're all going to make the playoffs.
Yeah, that would not be good. I don't know. I feel like the Bucks will collapse. The Chargers, if they can get healthy, they might be able to squeak into the playoffs.
Yeah, but it's kind of sad right now because there's teams that's 4-7 and they're still in the hunt. 4-7.
Jeez.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, we're playing okay. I still don't think the Eagles have played their best game. Obviously, the Niners kind of spook me. Their defense is crazy, athletic, and good. So, I'm not as afraid of their offense as I feel like everyone else is. I think we'd match up well, especially in the secondary with their receiving core. We have good linebackers that can cover, so I think I like our matchup, our D line, but I don't know. Anything's possible. I mean, I'm glad we've lost one game and we're moving forward, but still got to play the Giants twice and we got to play the Cowboys, so that kind of spooks the fuck out of me. But we lost to the Commanders, and fuck the Commanders for their shitty ass Sean Taylor memorial. It's bullshit.
Mm-hmm.
Did you see this video I posted of the highest high dive? For some reason it popped up. It was like in 83. How do you get into high diving? How do you dive into that? No pun intended. But honestly, how do you decide that I want to jump off a little platform 172 feet in the air? What? That's scary just to think about. And this woman's out here with her baby watching this guy, or both their kids. Would you do that? I wouldn't. I mean, if I knew, I don't know. Even if I knew I was gonna survive, I don't know if I'd jump that high. That's fucking super high. 172 feet in the air.
If I knew I was gonna survive, I would do it. Cause it's like, cause you get the record, you say like, yeah, that's me. No one's beat it in 40 years.
No way. I would. I'm not. And they never show him pop up. I am assuming he survives. Otherwise, they wouldn't post this. It's on Fascinating on Twitter, but it popped up, and I was like, absolutely not. It's also this picture where they had, and this is the issue, like, so in college sports, there's such a discrepancy between like the women's sports and the men's sports and like distributing of funds. And there's this picture where they have Indiana and Auburn. I believe it's their girls teams, and they're playing in a conference room inside like a Gaylord. It's like they're playing a basketball game inside a convention, a hotel conference room.
Oh.
I don't know if that has anything to do with like weather or anything. Potentially it does, I guess. I don't know, but that seems super weird to me.
Is it basketball?
Yeah, basketball. But we've seen like whenever they had the tournament and stuff for COVID and their bubbles and stuff, the discrepancy between their shit. And then I don't know if you saw this article. Lamar Odom believes that the Phoenix Suns mascot is racist. Did you see this? It says that Lamar Odom believes that the Phoenix Suns have a racist mascot, and he says, "quote Gorillas in the desert. You can't find any." So he thinks that because there's no gorillas that live in Phoenix, Arizona, I guess I can kind of see it, but that's kind of random for Lamar Odom to say that the Suns have a race. Gorillas in the desert. You can't find any. He said. You can probably find a cactus. Just like, come on. But it's so really crazy about it. They just tried it because they wanted to get the fans involved. That's the reason why they kept it, because the fans loved it. So I mean, I've never heard of this. I guess. I mean, I don't know. I guess it's you could make that correlation if you wanted to say it's a slur, but I find that amazing, especially coming from Lamar Odom.
Yeah, I really don't think it's racist. I think it's just the Suns trying to do something different and get the crowd involved more. Kind of like Rocky for the Nuggets.
Yeah, but wasn't Rocky gets paid like almost $700,000 a year. That's crazy. Now, granted,
yeah,
if you go to a Nuggets game, I mean, Rocky puts on a show. But that's a lot of cheddar, dude. That's so much money. That's your only job. I mean, I guess I wonder what classes you'd have to take. I wonder how you get into that.
I feel like you just have to know people, because it's not like there's signs for mascot tryouts, enter here, or anything like that.
Oh, so, okay. So in chat, apparently it was Tourney in Vegas. And the organizers did that conference room BS on purpose. Shout out to the sis, my sis in the chat. But yeah, no, I just think that's super goofy when they had them playing in like some conference room. That just seems so goofy. Makes no fucking sense. There's 1,000 places you could have them play, and you're like laying out floor. That means there's no seating, so everyone's sitting eye level. Did you bring in rafters? Like, get the fuck out of here. That's kind of dumb. Yeah, I guess what did it say? African Americans comprise 73.2% of all NBA players, while 83.2% players of that were color, and then the percentage of NBA players that were white, 16.8%. Not that matters. It's just randomly in this Lamar Odom article. But, I mean, the Phoenix Suns owner is trying to be forced to sell the team, or is talking about selling the team because he's being, like, crazy racist. So, I mean, if you tell me that guy came up with the gorilla mascot, if he came up with it, then I'd be like, okay, maybe. Right?
Well, I feel like they got marketing teams. They got like people that handle all this stuff. Like, yes, the owner might have had the final say, but like, I don't think he came up with it all on his own.
Well, yeah, but I mean, if it's like if you have the guy, the owner current owner of the Suns now, who's talking about selling it and is all that trouble for like the racial issues at work and a bad work environment. If him and like his like crony buddies came up with it and they were like, yeah, we're gonna make the mascot a gorilla, then maybe. But Lamar Odom is also not the most like reputable source. I'm glad he's doing okay and living his best life. But I mean, let's also be honest. Lamar Odom's not, he would be like if he was a material witness for you in court, you'd be in trouble.
Yeah.
Lamar Odom to the stand, like you don't know what Lamar Odom you're gonna get that day if he's gonna potentially show up. And not to just make fun of him, he's just had some struggles, so I'm not surprised he's got some. I've never heard this before, so I read it. Gorillas in the desert. You can't find any. That was honestly an amazing ass quote. And then did you see this video of the MMA basketball?
Yeah.
I don't know where this is, but it is the wildest shit I've ever seen. And this is what I kind of would this is what I'd imagine these guys to play basketball as. I saw a video of Khabib playing basketball, I think, and they can't dribble for shit, but they're just like running around and tackling each other, and the dude breaks the backboard. Would you do that?
Like what?
Would you join an MMA basketball team with me 2.0?
I mean, if we're just tackling people, I'd do that.
Like slam ball? Did you ever see slam ball? Do you know what slam ball is? It's like there was a basketball court, and then they had multiple little trampolines that existed. I'm gonna have to pull this shit up, and you could like jump and fly around and do the craziest shit ever. It was super cool. And people, I mean, see, but now what tripped me out about slam ball is how did people not just blow their knees out? Because they're jumping so hard and like with so much force in the air to go dunk, and then they come down. It's like they're trying to like cancel their bounce. But it was essentially NBA Jam. But you could tackle the fuck out of people. So you had pads. And man, people pulled off some crazy dunks. I would join a slam ball league right now.
It'd be a lot of fun.
Well, you're just begging to get hurt, but man, the way some of these guys get dunked on, it's so great. Ooh. And blocking shots. Yeah, it's the craziest shit ever. Slam ball was great. I wish it was ahead of its time. If slam ball existed now, it would make someone be like, yeah, you could just like cold like body check people, dunk on them hella hard, boom. But see, I'm too old. If I tried to do slam ball now, I'd probably like break an ankle, go up once, like slip, do something cool. Everyone's like, ooh, and I'm like, I'm done. I'm hurt.
I'm out.
That would probably happen, honestly. But man, slam ball was lit as fuck. Boom. Yes. Oh, that's a good one. Yeah, I mean...
Right, so did they ever shoot the ball, or did they always just go for the dunk?
Yeah, it was pretty much always a dunk. You could shoot, but I don't know why shooting would be pointless, because I'd just, jump up and block your shot.
Bro.
Like, in this Russian one, he dunks, but they're not even, dribbling. But slam ball, that was where it's at. I couldn't get enough slam ball when I was a kid. And it went away pretty quickly. Do you have thoughts? So I hate Ohio State, but I also don't really give a fuck about Michigan. How do you feel about Michigan losing?
Oh, good game.
Or Michigan winning and Ohio State losing? That makes me happy.
Yeah, I mean, I don't really care about either of those schools. I do have some friends that are Michigan fans, so I'm kind of lean towards them. more so, but I mean, I think it's good for that rivalry overall because like Ohio State just dominated them for the past like 10, 15 years. So seeing Michigan like starting to get some more wins, I think that's better for the game, better for the rivalry.
Yeah, I could see that. Definitely good. For everyone, honestly. Michigan looks like they're playing good, but I feel like we've seen this from them before. What USC's now in the playoff, or TCU and USC.
Mm-hmm.
See, I kind of like that, but I don't like how Ohio State and Alabama are just like lurking on the outside. I want them like the fuck out. Now, whenever they expand the playoff, I think that which is for me a good idea. I believe that's a good idea. But I really want TCU and USC. I'm glad Clemson's the fuck out of it. I'm glad it's not the same old bullshit. And if it's going to be one of those same old fucking teams, I'd rather it be Michigan than Ohio State or Alabama or Clemson or Notre Dame. Like fuck all of them. So I was glad whenever they've lost again. I'm like, good, go away, good.
Do you see that they are expanding the playoffs? Not next season, but the season after that.
Yeah, it's 12. Is that what it said?
Yeah.
So that's good. 12 will be great. We'll get some good matchups.
Mm-hmm.
I think
Get some
that's
like non-power 5 schools in there too.
Oh well, most definitely. You're definitely gonna get like UTSA would be in the playoff. Like there's so many teams that would be in that could give other teams a run for their money, and the way they have the seeding, that could be awesome. I think that's a great idea. People who say it's not, I'm just kind of your shit's for the birds. I don't really care, Not to be a dick, but I think the more exposure, the better, because we've seen with the current system, just like we saw with the old school BCS bullshit. It's like the same recycled teams.
Mm-hmm.
It's the same. Oh, well, even though they have 2 losses, they're better than this like no loss team. It's like no, like if they've lost 2, they should be lower in the undefeated team. Yeah, I'm just like get the fuck out of here. Watch a team have a really bad loss and then only drop so far. I mean, Ohio State didn't drop that far and they got smoked.
Yeah, I mean, Michigan, TCU, and USC, I don't see any of them competing with Georgia. Georgia's just bigger, faster, stronger.
I think that TCU could contend with Georgia just because they have really good skill position players. They're really talented at running back and at receiver. I think they could do it, and they have a good mobile quarterback. I think that's possible. But yeah, I don't think Michigan can keep up with them. I don't believe that at all. Like McCarthy gets eaten alive, and that's where Georgia's just head and shoulders better than everyone else. I guess that's the only reason why I'm not complaining that they're number one is because they're just so clearly number one. Even though I hate their quarterback with his Stetson Bennett or whatever, the 17th.
Stetson Bennett the 4th.
I'm just like, ugh, that is just the worst name ever. Like it is, and I mean, I get it. He's like a good college quarterback, He's like kitschy like that, but I don't, he's not going to be a number 1 overall pick. Taking over the scene, number 1, but he's just also kind of cocky. I appreciate it, but I also fucking hate it. So, if you had to pick one of these teams that's up there, who would you want to win? If you had to pick one,
I want to win. I want to pick USC because then all those like Cali bandwagon people are gonna come out of the gutters.
That's why you
TCU
want them
would
to.
be cool to see. No, I don't want USC to win.
Yeah. Yeah, TCU.
I think TCU would be the coolest.
That would be pretty cool. If you haven't noticed, though, whenever the TCU Horned Frogs won the Rose Bowl, their quarterback was Andy Dalton. Every time they have a ginger quarterback, they go super far, man. That's it. That's the key. They didn't even realize it. You know what? I have a theory. I think that Quinn Ewers of Texas is going to end up, or even Hudson Card, the quarterback who is with Texas, he's entering the transfer portal again. I think that one of those 2 guys is going to end up back at TCU after Duggan graduates and leaves. One of them is going to come back and play there because Ewers is from the Southlake area and TCU's, P distance away. So I could easily see him if he ends up losing his job to Arch Manning, transferring back up here a la like Kenny Hill or something, who was at Texas A&M and then transferred to TCU, you know, closer to home.
Mhm.
But I think that I could easily see that happening. But whenever they have a ginger quarterback, man, they go far. It's proven.
Damn.
It's a
It's hard to
fact.
argue with that logic.
Or LaDainian Tomlinson, but I don't know. I don't know who their quarterback was, but I bet you I could go look it up, and that fucker was strawberry blonde. I bet you. I bet he is. There's also this really good video. So, I don't know if you saw it. It's this video of this guy. He's on defensive line. He falls, jumps off sides, and he gets smacked in the back of the head by his teammate, and then his other teammate comes up and smacks the fuck out of him. That's wild to me. That's pretty crazy. I don't know how you hit him like that.
I mean, like, when you play defense, like, that's the most frustrating thing ever, because you're just giving free yards to the offense. Like, when it happens enough, like, I understand it. Like, sometimes you just gotta slap a dude in the helmet.
Yeah, the first one's not that bad, man. I get the first one, but the second one, that littler dude who comes up, he rears back and is like barking at him. You can see in his body language. I don't know, man. If you came and smacked me on the back of the head like that, I might have something to say. First guy, not bad at all. That second one, he kind of cold clocks him, man. I don't know.
That first one's just like, come on, man. Let's
And you're
go.
on TV, so everybody's like, man, why are you doing that? My mom's watching. Everybody watching. You false starting. But he's like way off sides. So, did you ever hit anybody like that? I don't know if you saw this. Caleb.
Not my teammates, but no.
I don't know if this is true, but it says fuck Notre Dame on what's his name? Caleb Williams' fingernail, supposedly, whenever they played Notre Dame. There's also, I have a video, it's in England, and Wales fans got into a brawl last night in Tenor Life. I don't know why people, it's like always drunk old men who get in these fights. Not that I'm trying to show fights, but we did show that one really bad fight from way before at that Ole Miss football game. That was pretty cringe. But these guys are all sloppy. Why do drunk people gotta fight all the time? Especially about World Cup, England and Wales. And okay, speaking of World Cup, also, USA's through. We got to play the Nederlanders. Did you see that on Saturday?
Yeah, I don't know. I kind of like our chances. I don't think we'll win, but I don't think it's going to be a blowout.
We could, if we get like lucky, we can apply some pressure. I like our chances. We haven't given up a goal at all, but man, that's a tough. I mean, we made it out of our group. That's fantastic. We have a really young team. Pulisic it sounds like he's going to be able to play. He released a statement, said he wasn't kicked in the nuts, so that's good, I guess. I was like, that's hilarious. But man, I'm still very conflicted about this whole World Cup thing, but I'm supporting obviously supporting Team USA. I think we have a chance, but it doesn't look super great. The Nederlanders are pretty fucking good.
Yeah, like they've always been a good soccer team.
If we lose, do you still call it a success?
Yeah, I do, because I mean, I'm not gonna say nobody picked us to qualify. Like we were the second highest ranked out of our group, I want to say.
Yeah.
And we should have qualified, but it's the first time we qualified in like two or three World Cups or something.
Yeah, I mean, we just saw Germany not qualify,
Yeah.
which is huge. That's the second World Cup in a row they haven't made it out of their group. So I mean, it's good that we made it out. We've been like we've been the fifth ranked team in the world before and not made it out of our group. So the fact that we made it out of our group is great, but we really gotta, get our shit together because they're gonna be coming pretty strong for us. It's not gonna be an easy for us at all.
No.
And they're gonna apply a lot of pressure. We'll see what our defense can do. We got some athletes, but we're young, so it's gonna be some wild shit.
I mean, I think it'll be good for us to get that experience. We are such a young team. We were the youngest team in the World Cup by average age. Like,
See. Oh, you playing
I
ball?
think it'll be good.
I like
And
that
especially
one.
for 2026, we're gonna like you will be hosting the World Cup.
That's your neighbor?
Yeah.
That'll be good for us. It's weird how they're doing it though. So like USA, Canada, and Mexico are all gonna like host games in it. And traditionally, the host country gets an automatic like bid into the World Cup group stage. So are all three countries gonna get into the world stage, or I don't know.
Yeah.
I mean, Mexico usually qualifies anyways. Canada's been better at soccer.
Yeah, but Mexico being out is a big deal too. We've seen some teams that we're used to. There's been a lot of shakeup. Senegal's in. That's great. Japan beat Spain.
Yeah, all these teams are getting old.
Oh shit! No way. Is it him? Is it the random appearance? The random man. Is that Elwood crashing the party for the umpteenth time?
Yeah, I'm gonna have to leave for a second and then be back again.
Well, you know,
I'm alone with the kiddo, and I'm also trying to watch a live disc golf auction right now.
a live disc golf auction.
Yeah, bro. Auctioning some discs.
Please. Oh, you're. Are you buying discs on auction?
Yeah. Well, I haven't bought one yet. I've bought them from the people that do it in the past. Something catches my eye.
That's like the most hippie shit I've ever heard.
Hippie?
Hey man, hold on, dude. You got Wi-Fi? I really need to check my eBay account and see if my bids went through on these disc golfs, bruh.
That's not how it is.
This putter, dude. I got
actually,
this putter and this pine wedge, dude.
Dude, it's Facebook live auction from the local shop here in town.
I got this sick like pack, dude, and I put this
eBay, get out of here,
put this
dude.
Juggalo
eBay
Running Man on it, dude. It's tight, bro. It doubles as like, you know, like A, like my disc holder, and B, you know what I'm saying? Like it holds like my ganj, bro. Like I can keep a little battery in there. It's tight, dude. It's got a little special pouch for a hacky, dude.
Are you done?
Nah, man. Yeah. But how are you, sir? Elwood in the house, randomly appearing. How are you?
Making fun of disc golf and make fun of pickleball. The stupid.
Well, I had to make fun of you. Sorry, dude. You're hopping on here arbitrarily an hour into the podcast, telling me, "Hold on, I'm on for a second, but then I gotta go because I gotta go bid on these disc golf items on Facebook auction."
Well, and I gotta put the kiddo to bed and everything else. God, speaking of, there's peanut butter everywhere.
That's awesome. So, do you think? Okay, well, before you disappear, do y'all beat the Colts this week? Do your Cowboys beat the Colts?
I hope so.
Do you guys get Odell Beckham Jr.?
I hope we go 3-0 in our next. I didn't realize our coming weeks is actually pretty. Not a bad schedule at all. We got Colts, and then I think it's Jacksonville, and then Houston. And if it's not that, it's Houston and Jacksonville. So
yeah, then you guys got to play
feeling
us.
Good.
Well, that's good.
Yeah. I'm not worried about y'all.
Okay.
Y'all's team's not looking as good the past 2 weeks.
We're 10-1. We're playing. We were 11 games into a season, and we're 10-1.
Yeah,
it's difficult.
Barely. You know who also was one game lost when they faced us? The Vikings.
Yeah, and they'd lost to us.
And we crushed them.
Well, that's fine. So did we. We ran for over 300-something yards last week. That's crazy.
I'm going to just go out and say it because the World Cup is going on in this fashion. I think whoever's winning the Super Bowl this year is someone that we haven't seen in a while. And I think it's going to be
So-
You can throw Cowboys in the mix just because they haven't won in so long.
No,
But Jets,
Oh,
Bills, look for these teams that just. I think they're going to make a surprise in the playoff
the
run.
Bills wouldn't be a surprise. The Bills
Well,
Jets
they
would
be a team that
surprise, but
haven't.
that's not gonna
They would be a
happen.
team that haven't made it or won a Super Bowl in a long time. So,
I think
hey, you can say it's not going to happen, but today almost Germany and Spain didn't make it to the qualifying round. That's kind of fucking insane.
I thought Germany didn't.
They didn't, but I'm saying both them and Spain, like together. Spain got in at the last minute because Germany ended up beating Croatia at the end.
Yeah,
Or not Croatia, Costa Rica.
pretty crazy.
And Japan, dude. Japan's number one their group. Nuts.
Yeah, well, all I'd say is I don't like your chances of winning the Super Bowl. Sorry.
Who, Cowboys?
Yeah.
If we get Odell?
Nope, not scared.
Okay.
We haven't even seen him
Better be
run.
scared of that defense.
We haven't even seen Odell do anything. All we know is that he got kicked off a plane a couple days ago because he was barred out and fell asleep. That's what we do know. That's what we do know about Odell. All right? We don't know if he can run a 25-yard in and cut on a dime like he used to be able to, but I know he's gonna pop some ludes and pass out on a fucking Greyhound with a box of oodles and noodles right
But are
now.
you butthurt because the past couple weeks AJ Brown's disappeared for you guys?
AJ Brown scored a touchdown last week. AJ Brown's top 10 in receiving yards, so I'm not worried about it. We deep, son.
Actually, you know what I saw? What's kind of funny? You know who's the number one scoring offense ever since they got their starting quarterback back? The Dallas Cowboys.
That's fine. We're 10-1.
The Cowboys.
Keep it up, man.
So you got the number one running offense right now.
I'm gonna laugh
And you
whenever
got
you guys go to the
arguably
playoffs.
number one defense in the league right now.
All right, you guys also
be
haven't
scared.
played anybody though.
Played
The
anybody?
Lions, the Bears, the Packers,
Okay,
the Vikings,
okay.
and the Giants.
Let's be real. I'm tired of this saying being said always towards the Cowboys, but it's the NFL. Every team is good. Even when they're bad, they're the NFL. They're NFL players. There's always competition. And if we want to hold that standard to the Cowboys, the Philadelphia Eagles have had the easiest, most bullshit schedule out of any team. But we want to rank them because they've won so many games. Well, who have they played?
Hey, I'm saying
Get out of town.
I'm saying we're 10-1. We have the best record in football right now, so we're better. That's my opinion. You are what your record says you are. That's an old Bill Parcells saying. So our record
All I
says we're
know is
10-1,
Cowboys
and we're the best. So
put
we're
a
the
beat
best.
Put a beatdown that hasn't been seen in a long time against a team that had a good record at their home stadium.
Yeah, and we beat the same team, and Kirk Cousins
Not by those margins.
Kirk Cousins threw 3 picks. They almost got shut the fuck out.
Yeah,
we had
threw
5.
two,
We
and
had
still
5
won.
turnovers in that game. We created 5 turnovers and 3 interceptions.
So what are you trying to say?
There's nothing more impressive about your win against them than ours.
Oh, it is. It is.
Oh, it just says.
And I'm tired of everyone saying the team again. It seems like all year no one really says it, and then weeks leading up to the playoffs it's all of a sudden the 49ers are the most, oh man, they're the scariest team, and I'm like, what?
They're pretty scary, man.
I'm sorry, I just don't buy it.
They're pretty scary, dude. So
Not really. That's another team barely gets by most of the time.
They have the number one defense in the NFL.
yeah, their defense is intense.
Yeah, I don't think they're better than Cowboys.
Of course you don't. Of course
Well,
you don't.
I said before the season even started on your podcast, Cowboys were going to be one of the best in the league, and you laughed at me. You go, I don't know, man.
Yeah, and ours is better. So. Whatever.
Tomato.
All right, well, let's get.
But World Cup Saturday, I'm excited.
Yeah, no, that's gonna be a good game. I gotta work that evening, but I'll definitely be watching it beforehand. That's gonna be pretty sweet game.
And I'll be honest, I have more faith in America than I did the whole group play just after that England game. I thought they looked pretty. It was the first time I can remember seeing a USA playing an international game against a top 5 tier team and not like running to the hills and playing defense the whole game. It was like, wow, we were actually attacking.
Well, yeah,
We actually
we were
had
punching back.
players that were faster than the opponent's players. It was just, I was like, man, this team actually, the hype might be something real. And
Yeah.
can we talk about the real failure of the World Cup? Because I, don't really pay attention to it that much, but I've heard, America's team with all the John Hamm commercials, we've been getting so much hype. Well, apparently Mexico was even more like hyped for that team. And they didn't even get out of group play.
Yeah, there's a changing of the guard. There's some really good older players that are no longer playing with their teams or weren't called up for their teams, and it's a changing of the guard in soccer. I mean, I think the average age for Team USA is like 23, 24 years old. That's super young.
Yeah, I think they're the second youngest team,
which is good. And like now we're kind of playing with house money. So, they did what they were supposed to do. I think we were ranked like 16th in the world, and we made it in the top 16. So we're pretty much right where we should be. Made it into a young group of guys, played some good talented teams and got some more experience. So we'll see what they'll do. You got to take chances if they're going to win, or really make a push to try to win. They're going to have to take some chances and roll the dice a little bit when it comes to taking, attacking and really pushing the ball and trying to get some shots off, force some penalties. They're really going to have to push that if they're going to beat someone like the Netherlands, who's, nothing but like world class pretty much always.
Yeah, but I fucking hate the Dutch, so I really hope we beat them.
Well, yeah, I mean, I hope we beat them too, but we have some Dutch listeners on the other podcast, so no issues with the Dutch.
Really?
Shout out to the Dutch.
Who's
Dutch super nice.
No, they're not.
They get a round of applause. Hey, a couple Dutch people listen to the podcast. We're trying
Everyone I've heard visit Netherlands say they're the meanest people, and then they go over to Denmark or wherever it is right next door and say they're the nicest people. So no.
Well, I would. Hey man, I'm trying to be like Pitbull.
Hey, Dutch listeners, be more friendly.
I'm trying to be like Pitbull and be Mr. Worldwide. So shout out.
Who are the people that believe in the elves on the hills?
Oh, I'm not sure. I feel like that's a lot of people.
There was a movie with Will Ferrell that even had it in, and like my buddy that just visited the country was like, "Dude, that's actually a real thing. We visited them."
Yeah, like the Dome Hills or whatever, and there's elves that live in them.
Yeah, but he said those people were literally, he goes, the nicest people ever. And then he said they went to Amsterdam, and it was like they got treated like, I don't know, he just said fucking Dutch people are dicks. So.
All right, well, let's get into these bets, though, 2.0. We got to get into these bets because we got to catch up. Hold on, you need your bet sound. We got to catch up on where we were. You got all of your shit plugged in. You got your pick. Oh, you do. All right, well, let's recap. Oh, let's see. Okay, get into it. Break my heart. Ooh, you're muted. I can't hear you. Technical difficulties.
So yeah, so last week we went 2-3 again, down about 0.6 units. So going through it, we had the Patriots at the Vikings. We took the Vikings -2.5. That hit pretty easily. Vikings offense finally showed up out of nowhere, but that could also be because the Vikings defense just isn't that good. Something to keep an eye on. And we had the Jags, Ravens at the Jags. We had the Jags team total under 19.5. Talked about it a little bit earlier. The Ravens defense just completely fell apart. Let Trevor Lawrence throw for like 320 yards or something. Jags actually ended up beating the Ravens as well.
On that we had the 2-point conversion play. They ran that 2-point
Yeah.
conversion, and then there was the missed field goal, the missed 67-yarder by Tucker. That was crazy. That was all balls on that play call. But that's Doug Peterson, man. He used to do that for the Eagles too. This is a good play call. It was a good pass. Yeah, I mean, they put it on. Marvin Jones Sr. was just like cutting people the fuck up. That was a wild game. It was a really good game.
It was. And we had the Raiders at the Seahawks. We took the Seahawks -3.5. They ended up losing in overtime. First play, the Raiders get the ball. Josh Jacobs takes it 86 yards for the touchdown and the win.
That was
That was disappointing to see.
That was so rowdy. But I mean, now he leads the league in rushing. But I like Josh Jacobs. I think he gets a lot of hate. They chose not to extend him. So I think he's going to be an unrestricted free agent at the end of the year because they didn't want to pick up his option for his 5th year. So, I mean, that's huge for him because he's going to go out there and, try to go get paid going into the offseason. He's a young, really talented running back. He's super good. I always liked him. So it sucks because, we lost the bet. But shout out Jacobs. That was badass. That was a crazy run. Just beast moded it.
Yeah.
Oh, we lost
Dude,
Elwood.
then
That was Elwood. Elwood for a second. He'll come back. I kind of he's like our Kramer. He just shows up in and out. I kind of love it.
Yeah.
All right, continue. Sorry.
Then we had our 3-leg teaser. We teased the Eagles down to 0.5 point, the Steelers up to 8.5, and the Cowboys down to -4. That did hit. Eagles won by 7. Steelers ended up winning the game outright as underdogs. And then the Cowboys ended up beating the Giants 28-20. They did not cover the full spread, but they did cover the teaser. And then for the upset of the week, we had the Bengals at the Titans. The Titans on the money line. It was a close back and forth game, but ultimately the Bengals did win the game.
Are the Bengals for real?
I mean, it's hard to argue that they're not.
But-
Yes, they do have some injury concerns right now with Jamar Chase and Joe Mixon, but once they get back,
Well, Chase
it's
is
very
supposed
similar to how they were.
Chase is supposed to be cleared to play right now. Ooh, big sack on Josh Allen right now for the fumble recovered by Judon. Judon's a beast. Sorry, it's just right next to me, but yeah, big. I mean, Josh Allen, man, holding it like a loaf of bread.
Oh yeah, I gotta check that game out. I'm watching the Stars game right now.
Crazy.
Yeah, so overall 2-3, down about 0.6 units.
All right, yeah.
Wait, you bet against the Cowboys? Is that what I heard?
No, I bet on the Cowboys.
He bet on the Cowboys.
Nice.
Duh. All
course.
right. Well, let's get into your picks for this week, sir. What are your stone cold, ice cold Yoo-hoo picks of the week?
Yes, sir. So first off, we got the Chargers at the Raiders. We're going over 50.5 total points. That is a very high total. If you break it down a little bit, last week the Raiders were able to get 283 yards on the ground against the Seahawks, who were ranked 29th in the league against the run. It so happens that the Chargers are ranked 28th in the league against the run. So I expect a similar performance out of Josh Jacobs and this Raiders run game. On the flip side, you have a Raiders defense that's about middle of the pack against the run. They're 16th, but then they rank 26th against the pass. So it means Austin Eckler should have success. I know the Chargers like to use him in the passing game as well, so he'll have opportunities there. And then Justin Herbert should have a big day. I think Keenan Allen is back. I think Mike Williams is still hurt, but they got Josh Palmer, who's emerging as a good wide receiver. So
Yeah, he is.
I think this will be a good back and forth, high scoring game. So we're going to take the over 50.5 points.
Okay, getting into this next game. This is an interesting game. Some people would say it's a potential Super Bowl matchup. So I hope they play like it is because that could be awesome.
Yeah, so we got the Dolphins at the 49ers. Taking the 49ers -4. Some books have them at 3.5. Some have them at 4 now. Just shop around, see what you can find. So I made this number 6.5 for the 49ers. I think they have a good home field advantage. The Dolphins got to travel across the country. do think this is going to be a physical type of game, which does favor the 49ers here and their stout front seven. Dolphins have been flashy at times, but I don't think they're particularly great. And I think this is a great spot for the 49ers to have success and be able to shut them down. The Dolphins offense will get theirs. They have too many good players to not, but I think 49ers team, they have so many offensive weapons, they can compete with the Dolphins here. And so I'm going to lay the points with the 49ers and take them -4.
Yeah, I mean, I think if you can really get after Tua and make him move around a lot and get him off his spots, I think that can really affect their offense. They move the ball really well between the end zones, but you know, I'm while Miami's good, I haven't been like, oh man, they're world beaters. Like, you know, to me, they're like the third or fourth best team in the AFC, in my opinion, right now. I'd take the Niners. I like that bet. All right, tell me about your teaser. Yeah, I was like, what the hell? You know,
So we got
raspy.
So we got another 3-leg teaser here again. So we got Broncos at the Ravens. We're teasing the Ravens down from -9 to -3. Got the Browns at the Texans. We're teasing the Browns down from -7 to -1. We got the Colts at the Cowboys. We're teasing the Cowboys down from -11 to -5. So breaking it down a little bit, the Ravens did lose last week to the Jaguars, but they should have a much easier time against this Broncos passing game that ranks 20th in the league and is just not there. Like, it pains me to say it as a Broncos fan, but our offense is awful. The strength of the Ravens offense is their ground game. But the Broncos defense, like Broncos do have a good defense, but they're on the field for so long that like
It's
just hard to sustain that.
Yeah, you can't keep it going. It's the same with, I feel like, with Cleveland. They have a lot of talent and some pretty good defense, but it's really hard for them to get after everything because it's just there's so much shit going. Like, they're on the field for so long, and their offense can't sustain it for long enough for them to catch a break, catch their breath, if that. You know.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so I think this Ravens offense will have success on the ground. What is it? 9 points is a lot to lay, so teasing it down to 3, pretty comfortable. They can beat them there. Then for the Browns at the Texans. So this is Deshaun Watson's first game back. He's facing his former team. But like, all that hype isn't exactly why I like them. I expect the Browns to lean heavily on their run game that ranks 2nd in the league, and they aren't going to ask Deshaun Watson to do too much in his first game back. There's going to be like a high emotion. They're going to, like, all the storyline is going to be on Deshaun Watson. His first game back, is he going to beat his former team? Blah blah blah. Like, the main reason I like this is because the Texans defense is dead last against the run. And the Browns have a tremendous run game. They ran all over Tampa Bay last week.
Yeah, they did.
And -1, I'm pretty comfortable laying that number.
Yeah, I mean, if they're smart, they just hand the ball off all game and let Nick Chubb take over. It's super weird that he's going to be back and playing this week. And there's like, what, 10 or 15? 10 of his accusers are going to be in attendance with the lawyer at the game, and have released a statement that they're going to be there. It's just so messy. Like, the Browns just are so bad. Deshaun Watson is obviously garbage, but the Browns look super bad when it comes to the way they structured his contract, the way they chose to, you know, try to circumvent him paying a bunch of fines and keeping his salary low to $1 million on his first year. All that shit. Like, you know, they're a decent team. We'll see if he can outrun this. I highly doubt it. I think this cloud will hang over him for forever, as it should. But, you know, I hope the Texans win, honestly. I think that'd be funny. But, I mean, hopefully the Browns are definitely the better team. And I can see, you know, Nick Chubb carrying the ball like 32 times or something and reading some. It's the first time someone's carried the ball 30 times, and they'll make the whole game, try to make the whole game about somebody other than Deshaun Watson, for sure. If they're
Hey,
smart.
Amari Cooper's been making big plays for him too this year.
Yeah, Amari's legit, man. Amari runs good routes. He dropped that one pass on 4th down, but he came back and made that big catch for them in overtime. I think Tampa's imploding.
Both the games that went to overtime saved my fantasy last weekend. It was like I had nothing, and then both games hit overtime, and my points just racked up. I was like, heck.
That's how it goes, man. Well, all right. And then what's your upset pick of the week?
So we're going with the Commanders at the Giants. We're taking the Giants plus 115 on the money line. Spread is 2.5 if you feel a little more comfortable laying that. Teams are going in the opposite direction right now. Commanders are going up. They've won 5 of the last 6, while the Giants have lost their last 2 games. So they are going in opposite directions here, but when you look at it even more, the Commanders have not had their bye week yet. So this will be their 13th straight game, which has to have a toll on them. And if it weren't for a last-minute interception by the Falcons last week, they would have lost that game. There is a chance that Chase Young could come back for the Commanders, but Ron Rivera has shown that he likes to be cautious with their star defensive end. Even if he does play, I think he'll be on a limited snap count. He is their stud for the next 10 years. They aren't going to risk his whole career to play against the Giants. And as I said earlier, the Giants have lost their last 2 games, but this just feels like a get-right game for them. I could be completely wrong, and the Commanders absolutely blow them out, but I make this game a pick 'em, and so I'm just going to gamble a little bit and take the Giants on the money line.
Yeah, I mean, the Commanders have been crushing it. Heineke definitely looks like their quarterback, but it was like when they made that playoff run whenever Tampa won the Super Bowl, and they almost, the toughest game Tampa Bay played all playoffs when they won the Super Bowl. Tom Brady and the boys was their first game when they played Washington. Heineke should get the job moving forward unless they have something better, somebody that's a transcendent talent or something, but he's definitely their quarterback. I could see Washington winning this game. Like you said, they're hot. The Giants are battling some injuries. I think they got even more, so they're missing a lot of pieces, but it's possible. It is definitely a pick 'em. You can make a case for either the Giants get right because they're the better team, or they should be the better team, or the Commanders are just like, the Commanders are like the hottest team in football right now. Like they've won 5 of the last 6. They've been crushing it.
You know what's funny, if you go back and look at it, right when their hot streak actually started is right when it got announced that Snyder might be selling the team. It was like all of a sudden they're like, wait, Snyder might be selling the team? Hell yeah, we're happy now. Let's start playing good football.
Yeah, I mean, that's going to be galvanizing for a team. Everyone's like, fuck Dan Snyder, he's a piece of shit, So, I mean, I'm sure there's a lot of people that work there that don't like him. They're tired of the headache.
Including my buddy that is my good friend that's a diehard Washington fan. Like, he hates Snyder with a passion.
Well, yeah, I mean, he's been bad with the roster, bad with money management. I mean, but I mean, it's good to see the team win because you don't want to blame the team for the owner. But yeah, he's a garbage human being. Definitely like pretty trashy and not a nice guy. So I feel like that's uber apparent. All right, well, that's bets. I mean, we don't really have anything, like I said earlier, shout out Goody. We hope you're all right, man. I know he's sick as shit. So if he's watching or listening, be good, soldier. Stay strong.
Man, I watched some random stuff today. You want to talk about crazy? I couldn't believe what I was watching, honestly. I had the ticket on, driving in the car, and they started talking about the Alex Jones Kanye West interview that was live going on.
Yeah.
So of course I'm like, okay, I gotta tune in and see this, and it was some of the craziest shit I have ever heard out of a human's mouth. And what's even crazier, I never thought I would be shown a scenario where there's a bunch of men on a broadcast table, saying a bunch of craziness, and Alex Jones isn't the craziest one on camera. Like there
True,
was
but
even
I
moments
don't
where
want to.
Kanye would
I
drop
don't
some
want to
stuff.
talk. I don't want to talk about that shit.
It
Honestly,
was just funny because literally there was a moment where Kanye said something that was going crazy, and Alex was like, "Well, I can't agree. I can't agree with that, Kanye."
well, no, I
And
know,
it's
and
like,
that's
damn.
definitely more talk shit or get off of the pod topic. But yeah, I mean, I saw it. But yeah, I'm trying not to. I don't want. It's all bad. It's all bullshit, and it's like That's such a dicey thing to talk about. Where I'm just like, it's obviously he's an idiot and is losing his shit. And
Like, I was trying to tell my friend, I was like, Kanye was wearing a ski mask, and he was like, "What?" And I was like, "But it didn't have any eye holes or mouth hole." And he was like, "Wait, what? What are you talking about?" I was like, "Exactly, dude. It was the weirdest thing I've ever seen." But yeah, anyway,
yeah, no,
Cowboys winning, baby. It all.
I don't know about that. I think the Chiefs look like
I know
probably.
this is a football podcast, but I'm kind of upset with the Mavericks.
We can talk about Mavs. Why are you upset with the Mavs?
Because Luca is just so fucking good, and they cannot get any other players like to support him on the team.
Yeah, but it's
And one of their best supporting players they gave rid of, and he was going to take like half of the money of what the Knicks, I think, ended up offering him. And now he's killing it on the Knicks.
well, I mean, they just signed Kemba Walker. I mean, we'll see how that works out. It's early in the season. I mean, they're not like the Lakers. They're not in uber bad shape, but Luka's really good. But I think, they have new pieces. They gotta blend together. I think the Mavs are ultimately missing like physicality. I think they're missing a real big physical presence. But I definitely like the chances. What was that background sound?
Just people yelling for some reason. I don't know.
Oh yeah, because you're in like the big frat. You're under the frat stairs.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
The old Under the Frat Stairs. That's the next horror movie I'm gonna direct.
Dude, that'd be a good horror movie. Man, these bots are crazy. I had some Dogecoin bot just pop up in my stream like, hey, you should get Dogecoin. Crazy. It's great. Like, I love it, man. It's so funny. My favorite ones are the bots that are like, oh, like, want to kiss girls? Like, follow, subscribe. You're like, what? Like, it's goofy as shit.
Well, Stars just went up another goal. Yeah. Did I love their new jerseys they put out? I don't know if you've seen them.
Which ones? You mean the Eagles all black ones? Yeah, those are tight.
No, the Dallas Stars jerseys. They're like the new/old jerseys. They're like a homage to our old black and green ones.
The new/old jerseys.
So it's like a newer version of the jerseys we had in the 90s.
Okay.
But with all the new logo and everything. But with the same color scheme.
Okay. Well, that makes sense. Yeah, I mean, I need to go to a Stars game. I really need to go check one out soon and go hockey it up.
It's the best thing ever. Like, I don't care
I
what
will be
anybody
going
says.
to
Hockey
Eagles.
games are the best sports game
Eagles
to
Cowboys
go to.
Christmas Eve. That's gonna be the game. If that,
Well, I hate to break it to you, that game you're gonna not have a good time.
why wouldn't I? Win or lose, I'm gonna have a great time.
First of all, it's AT&T Stadium, and it's just not fun to watch a game there. Really.
I mean,
Second of all, your team's gonna lose. And third, it's just.
no, it's gonna be great. I'm
Yeah,
gonna be able to
it's
send you
over.
videos from my really good seats behind the Cowboys bench, so they're great for watching the game. And I'm gonna get to sit there and send you videos of me like telling Dak to go fuck himself, or I'll be able to say horrible things to your favorite
Oh God,
football players and just send you videos of them. I'll just live. I'm probably gonna live stream some of the game from while I'm inside the stadium, because I know it's not my first time to watch a Cowboys game at AT&T Stadium.
I know you were watching the last Eagles game when I forget what player it was that was actually injured, and it was like because it was the time of the game, they thought it was like him faking it, and your whole fucking fan base was booing this dude
because he
instead
was
of cheering
faking
him
it, and
when
he
gets
gave
off the field.
everyone
he
he
wasn't.
gave everyone the finger. He was walking around
After
flicking
booing
people
him.
off. No, you're talking about Jazeer Alexander, the cornerback for them. Alexander was walking around giving people the finger constantly on the sideline, and he literally was walking off, and he laid the fuck down,
the fans
got
weren't
up and
saying
waved.
anything offensive to him for him to give the finger to. Absolutely not. They were probably just saying, "Hey, Alexander, your mom's really nice lady."
No way, man. If you walk around and you're giving people the finger in Philly, people are gonna boo your ass.
Just admit your fans are the worst.
No way, we're the best. I'm playing the video right now.
Brotherly love, dude. Most unheard of, made up statement for a city I've ever heard.
Look, I'm playing the video right now. He's walking off, giving everybody the finger, saying fuck you," and everybody's yelling at him because he's a bitch.
I don't think it was the cornerback that got hurt that I remembered. It was a bigger dude.
Nah, number 23, Jair Alexander. That's who they were booing. He's a little punk.
Well, my fans would never boo an injured player, so we have class.
That's not true.
Unless he's an Eagles. Yeah.
Cowboys fans are just as garbage. If we're bad.
No.
Yep.
Oh.
Just as garbage.
Yeah, Stars signed Rope Hintz to another 8-year extension. Fucking sick.
Any other sports shit y'all want to discuss? Anything else crazy going on? I mean, we got some good football games this week. Obviously, watch the World Cup and pull for Team USA, even though, fuck Qatar and fuck this corrupt World Cup.
Yeah, but you can't even say that. I'm tired of... If you're going to say that and have that stance, then... Did you watch
600 people, over 600 people died building that shit.
Watch the past 4 or 5 World Cups?
The statistics are in
they were all done with the same corruption to get that World Cup in that venue.
Yeah,
starting from South Africa. I mean, I forget what in South Africa.
I'm not talking about the money. I'm not talking about the money aspect. I'm talking about the fact that there's been over like 1,000 migrant workers that have died building a bunch of stuff that didn't exist.
Yeah, but case in point, like I'm guaranteeing as a Washington Commanders fan, you're not watching your football team to support Dan Snyder. You're supporting it for the players that are playing the game.
And I've said I support Team USA and I'm rooting for them, but fuck FIFA and fuck the World Cup organization for having that in Qatar. That's what I'm saying. But okay, so I'm allowed to say that.
Sorry, I guess I just get a little jolted because I actually have friends that have been like, I'm not watching that because I don't support that, and I'm like, are you paying for the match? Are you going? What do you mean support it? Support the players, dude. Watch the match.
Yeah, but
it only happens 4 years.
I think it really just comes down to people not liking the fact that, there's been a lot of innocent people that have died while they were building these stadiums, and it's all based on, obviously, corruption. So there's a bunch of innocent people that died.
Yeah.
Bases off
I'm pretty sure the same happened
corrupt
in Russia.
system, and then literally moving the time of year than they have the World Cup just to appease having it in this country because they couldn't have it in the summer. It'd be way too fucking hot. So all this shit, like they've literally...
I think it's 150 something in
the
summer.
So why would you have it there in the first place if it's a summer event? That's what I'm saying.
Money,
it's like
baby.
The bending, exactly. So the bending of the rules and the bending of the system.
Why do you think golfers are going over to that part of the world to play golf? Because the money.
Well, they're doing it on this side of the pond. They're just doing it through a Saudi owned organization through Live Golf. They're just doing it through an organization that is owned by the Saudis, so they're able to pay them these crazy money. Yeah, so I'm just saying it's
there's so much money over there. There's stupid.
Obviously there's corruption in soccer and there's corruption around the World Cup and hosting it, but the level of corruption, bending of the rules, and loss of innocent lives that has existed for them to host it in Qatar of all fucking places.
Well, I hate to admit it, but all this being said, I'm probably gonna buy a ticket when it comes to AT&T Stadium and go see a match.
Well, yeah, but
I
that's
mean,
totally
just
different. I mean,
because it's the World
AT&T
Cup.
Stadium exists. They're not like there's not going to
I
be a
know,
bunch of
but it's
people who are going
still
to steal their passports and they need to go build it for us in 3 years or less. And if they don't, they'll never get to leave. But they never get to leave anyways. Like that's what I'm saying. It's like the level of like
yes, I know.
the inhumane way these people are treated is absurd. That like that.
Well, it's not even what's more absurd is not even the way the people are treated. It's the way person involved with Qatar and FIFA have acted in an interview where that's just like, no, no, we
Well, yeah, they've
everyone's
walked out.
treated
Yeah, they've
so
walked
good.
out.
And it's like
Well, yeah, they've
it's
walked
so
out.
that's
They've
what's
walked away
absurd.
from interviews and walked away from stuff because
Yeah.
they don't want to discuss it or don't want to answer questions. Or people have actually done their due diligence and gone and seen these like migrant camps where these people live that have like holes in
Well,
the
the one
ground with
dude,
one shower for
I
like
think he was
150
on the
people.
FIFA documentary on Netflix. He was like a younger guy, and I guess they use a younger guy for Qatar to like. I guess if you're younger, you're more trustworthy in this day and age. But it was like he was, trying to flip the script that there was no corruption at all with Qatar getting FIFA's bid, and it was just such a good bid because soccer does so good for the Middle East and is bringing peace to the middle and all. It was just such hogwash, like garbage. You're like, really?
Yeah, I mean they just want money. I mean, and we all know that. That's really what they want. They're after the cash. It is what it is. I mean,
But I'm calling it World Cup and football. A team that has not won it ever or in a long time. I can't say ever in football. Because I actually didn't realize this. My buddy, I think, said it today. In the World Cup, I think there's only been 6 or 7 countries that have ever actually won it. And out of those 6 and 7, it's like they've either won it once or it's in rotation.
hmm.
So I'm excited. I would love to, even if it's not USA, I would love for like a smaller country. Fucking let's go Morocco. Like,
Let's go
win it
Japan.
all.
Japan would be tight.
Oh yeah, Japan would be gnarly. And I don't know if you watched that game, dude. Japan was fucking looking good.
Japan's been playing good. Hey, if you have the game on mute that shit, you're gonna get me popped for copyright. We can't broadcast the
Who?
NFLs. Whoever's got it playing in the background, I hear it.
Oh, it's the hockey game.
Oh, okay. I was like, well, be careful. I don't want to get popped for copyright. They're crazy,
I
man.
turned
They
it back.
they popped me for one thing because I played the video with the Undertaker and the background music where there's no like real audio and it's cheering. I got popped for that. Nothing bad, but they were like, "Hey, you can't do that."
Hey, you can't, motherfucker. You can't hear it now, right?
No, you're good.
Okay, good, good.
All right, man. Well, I appreciate you guys coming on. You guys, let's watch the World Cup. Pay attention.
Yeah, you're welcome to come over. I know it's a super early fucking game.
Yeah, no, I'll let you know. I work all weekend, so as long as I'm up, because it's an early game, and I close, so
8
I'm
a.m.
gonna be getting off late.
Yeah, I honestly was literally saying it all week. Was like, man, the next game I'm going to a bar to watch it, and then they released the time, and I'm like, I'm not going to a bar. And I'm pretty sure there's not a bar in my area. Like, I know there was a bar in Austin that would open up like on 6th Street early for what was their stupid? It wasn't Tottenham, but they had like a kind of off soccer team that was the owner was obsessed with, and he would open the bar like at 9 a.m.
downtown. There's the Dubliner. They open soon. There's a lot of bars that'll open really early, especially for the soccer game. So the Dubliner down on Lower Greenville Avenue, they open regardless of what time the game is, and they have cooked brats and stuff out front. And they get packed. It's pretty crazy.
Yeah, I think I went to one game there, and I said I'll never do it again because it was the most shoulder to shoulder uncomfortable in a bar, and I was just like, fuck this.
Yeah, I mean, but it's that's also part of it that makes it fun. It's part of the whole soccer, the whole allure of soccer is the camaraderie and so it makes it fun, man. That's what got me into it was the the uptick. an old weed man named Jeff got me really into Team USA soccer back in the day.
Wait, Jeff from Austin?
Yeah, no, you know him. Yeah, no, because we were buddies for a long time. Like, we're still pretty good friends, and he would go watch the soccer games at Yellow Jacket on East 6th in Austin, and he would wear like his cape. He'd be Captain America and dress up and get like crazy, and it was a blast. So I always liked Team USA, but he really got me into like watching it, especially in like crowded places, because he was just so much fun.
Yeah, before Austin got their team, I know he was a huge Chelsea fan forever.
Yeah, no, Austin's got their team.
Yeah, he goes to all the matches now.
Oh, I'm sure he does. He was all about it. Hell yeah.
Honestly, I would have probably gone to a match if I still lived there.
Oh yeah, I definitely. If I go visit, I want to visit and go to a match sometime. That'd be a lot of fun. Well, all right, episode 13, guys. I'm calling it.
Who do Eagles play?
Titans.
Ooh, that
be
could be a good.
It will be a good game. I'm excited. It's another good test of a game. Hell yeah.
That's been one of your weaknesses recently, is teams with good rushing offenses.
We'll be. I think I like our chances. We'll be fine. I appreciate your concern, Elwood.
Hey man, any given Sunday, baby, Al
Oh,
Pacino.
I'm fully aware. I know. I'm just saying. You know, you worry about your boys. Don't worry about us.
Oh, I'm not worried at all, dude.
All right, watch out. Matt Ryan's gonna
ODB, baby. He's coming, baby. I'm excited.
Old dirty bastard is gonna come back from the grave, and you mean OBJ? I was like, if old dirty bastard shows up, I don't know if that's
dude.
help you that
That's
much.
his new name.
Then
Dallas.
Okay, we'll see. We'll see. Well, all right. Well, I appreciate you guys coming on.
From Dallas, baby.
Yes, sir.
You guys be good. 2.0, and our Kramer of the show, Elwood.
Hey, random thing too. Get God, what is it called? Dark Tide Warhammer on Steam and play with me.
I'll think about it.
Did you ever play Vermintide?
No. We'll talk about it off air.
All right.
I appreciate you being here, Smellwood. Be good.
Later.
Elwood out. 2.0. You got any big plans for the rest of the week?
No, I got finals next week, so just kind of grinding out for that.
Fuck finals. Finals are getting a boo right now. Nah, well, good luck. Do your thing. Take school serious, because I'm sure your mom's watching. But I appreciate you coming on, man. Be good, and just quit losing my money.
I'll do my best.
Love you, man. I'll talk to you soon.
Love you too.
Alrighty. Well, it's 2.0. Like I said before, shout out to Mr. Goody, Mr. Schultz. Sick as shit. I feel really bad for him, honestly. That kind of sucks. But like we spoke about in the beginning, you can't really be that surprised about Jerry Jones. We kind of all saw this coming, but that's why it needs to be discussed, is because we can't normalize that shit or normalize people who exert their authority to hold down minorities. Not that he does, but I wouldn't be surprised, because he tried to keep black kids from going to school with him. Shout out Eagles, let's go. Cowboys play this week. Good college football. Another week down. My car got hit by an old ass lady today. But it's all good. Life's good. It's all be all right. You guys stay out of trouble. Be safe. Go Birds. Always. ABQ out. Peace.